Hello everyone and welcome to Overwatch. And today I have a review of Figma's Saber of Red, so Mordred from Fate Apocrypha. Finally, a figure that is actually from Fate Apocrypha and not Fate Grand Order, because I actually watched this show and the box is beautiful. I really love Figma boxes. I really like how they keep the design simple, but you always have the same codes, same beautiful stuff, amazing poses, and 10th anniversary, so Figma is really going all out into giving us amazing figures. You get Aniplex sealed there, so let's just open it. So let's start that intro.
Follow me. I'll cover you.
For this particular review I actually decided to take a second take because it is a very complex figure and I thought my first filming and impressions were not giving it the just due, so I decided to already have everything unboxed to be a better explanation. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, to subscribe to the channel, hit a little bell icon to always know when the next video is up, and leave a like in the video, please. I'm begging you. Okay, so let's start looking at our figure. Our stand, of course, is a classic Figma stand. Please, Figma, never change your stand. The stand is the best thing ever. Better than biscuits. And yes, there's a part that keeps falling. Now, our armor is very complex and there's a lot of things that attach and attach again. So the probability of things falling off, unfortunately, is very high. Now, one thing that I'm noticing is that my camera is not picking up her hair color correctly. She looks a lot like very clear yellow on camera, but she's actually more of her orange color, so it's a lot more vibrant. A lot of the colors here are not being picked up very well. But her face sculpt, let's start by that, is amazing. The armor itself is so complex and really well done now. And she, of course, is solid because she's an original. I doubt that if they ever make a KO of this, it will be very solid. And again, this part keeps popping off and on, especially because these two plates hit this plate and it falls off. Now, she's very spiky, so handle with care. But let's take a look at her accessories. Stay there. So we got two swords, and these two swords are amazing, very well detailed, very well painted. Now there I noticed a very small smudge that because I was looking for smudges, I don't remember what it is even. So that's how hard it is to find anything wrong with the paint job. I think it's, yeah, right here, it's so small, doesn't matter. Now, putting the swords is very easy on the hands, I'll show you later. Both are beautiful, but this one is really something else. Then we got some hands. She has 2 fist hands right now, Honor, but then we got, can you focus please? Focus! Okay, we got 2 grabby hands, 2 open pose hands, and 2 power concentrating hands, whatever you want to call them. 2 pose hands. The hands themselves are good. I don't know why. These chroma hands, I'm always afraid of small. They can be ruined really easy, but overall, they still look amazing. Then we got our extra peg for the hands. 2 new face plates that are full of emotion. We got this smiling face, and we got this smirking face. Both of them are really gorgeous. And of course, easy to swap. So we got our plain smile hand. And again, she's very pointy, so be careful. And okay, the hair actually doesn't want to come out. To swap, why? Normally this is easy. I liked it. This is soft plastic, so Nice of them. Okay, so we got out. And that part of we can get out. Okay, so she's actually has some parts that almost stuck. And I'm going to put this smirking face because I really like it. And there you go. She looks really happy. By the way, there's an articulation on the hair. And let me put this back on again. So see, this part is always coming off. This little part on the armor. And it's basically a result from these two plates always hitting it. But then we got also another head with the helmet. Now the head with the helmet actually requires a transformation. I'm saying a transformation because we have all of these other parts that we need to replace some parts of the armor to put that head in. Before we transform her, let's look at her articulation.
And now comes the interesting part.
Now be careful while handling this figure when we are looking at the articulation because she may just stab you. We got first of all the same ball hinge to ball joint system in the head, but it's limited by the armor pieces, especially when she has these armor pieces on. But she does get to look down, up and side to side, but again he's hitting these plates and this one is already trying to get loose. Then we got ourselves, I believe it's a ball hinge on this hairpiece that you can adjust as you want. But again, it's still very limited both by the joints and this little flower piece on her hair. Then we get to a complicated piece of articulation. Again, this is falling off, so I'm taking it out of the way. Here I believe we have a ball joint to ball hinge system, but it actually can extend. See? Extends to give you more range of motion. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be able with this much shoulder piece. You cannot articulate her arm as you'd like. So you can, after extending, put the arm forward, backwards, up. You can get the full range of motion, but while it's like this, so it's tucked in, it's very narrow. But you can do it, you can still do it. But this will give you more range of motion, and again, other parts are falling off because every time you hit something with this, it starts wanting to fall off. But again, this shoulder system is actually very smart because it gives you great extra range of motion even though she has all of this bulk on her. And we got ourselves just a swivel on the biceps, so no swivel up there. This bend is very limited, so the ball hinge that you get on the bicep is very limited, and I don't think, ow, god damn it, stabbing me, does not seem to extend like the shoulders. And then you have just a normal ball hinge on the hands that, by the way, get very well hidden by the armor itself. So this is what we get on the arms. Here we do have, I believe it is a ball joint on top that, when you don't have a lot of things on the way, allows you great range of motion. And again, you get a crunch that is limited by the armor and leaning back. And of course a swivel. I missed that word. And then I believe this is just a floating piece, and there probably we have a ball joint to the rest of the figure and another one below. And again, we have parts that I want to come out. This part, we got these skirts, I believe are in both of them in ball hinges, a little bit like Saber was, the original Saber. And all of the rest are basically glued in, so be careful with them. It does have the classic Figma ball joint and ball joint for each leg. The spread is very limited. The kick forward and kick back is also very limited because of course you have a big armor on the way. to get a very tight thigh swivel and hinged knee and a ball hinge on the foot, no toe bend, and I don't think he can pivot. So the articulation is a bit limited, especially considering we're talking about a Figma that does great things, but what do you expect when you have a monster of an armor like this? It cannot get miracles. So I told you there was a transformation, and to do the transformation you first need to extend the shoulders, remove her head, then take out these shoulder parts from the shoulder, and remove the front part, and of course remove that back part that kept falling off. And now that we did that, we can start by putting these shoulder pads. Now, to put correctly the shoulder pads, you need to check which one has a stripe, and you put the stripe part on the correct pattern with the shoulder. Now there's two connections there, and they are not as easy to put, especially when it is sometimes really hard to grab them. But after putting it in, you can start by putting this little part on the neck. There you go, just a simple fit. Then we can put this little plate in the back part. By the way, this one actually stays in. Sometimes I just feel like leaving that one in and never putting it regardless of the mode. Then you have a different front part that you add, and it is a simple connection. And if you put that well in, you are ready to put the new head, and there you go. Mordred in her battle form, and she looks amazing. Gotta say, in a lot of ways, this mode actually improved the figure, because this part is no longer always falling off, and overall this part is the same than the other one, but I do miss those spiky parts right here. But I guess the idea is that those parts form the mask. Speaking of the mask, it is a bit more limited in articulation even than the head. It is, as if I believe, still a ball hinge to a ball joint, just more bulky and a little bit more limited in range. Still, it looks freaking amazing. Now, the last thing that I need to explain about the figure is changing hands. And every time I try to change them, the ball peg comes out of the arm. A grabby hand. There you go. And now we can connect one of the swords. To connect the sword, we need to remove this little piece right here. Just disconnect it. Put the sword in the hand. And then close it back in. And there you go. It holds the sword perfectly well. And damn, it looks good. Say, with such a giant sword, she's probably compensating for something. Should she? Let's look at her size.
Oh yes.
Figma Persona 5 Panther. Figma Dead or Alive 5 Kazumi. Figma ReZero Ram. Figma Fate Grand Order Gilgamesh. To summarize, this is a gorgeous figure with amazing detail and decent but a bit limited articulation. If you're a Fate series fan, you definitely should get this figure.
It's a bit special.
It should be no surprise that he's getting my low budget otaku seal of approval. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and tell me what you thought about the figure in the comment section below. Also, subscribe if you haven't. Hit that little bell icon to always know when the next review is up. I will leave you with amazing pictures of the figure, and the last picture is a tease for next reviews.
See you next time.